Christmas?
Christmas. Okay. I love Christmas. I'm just gonna put it out there. And
I love Christmas as well.
I love Christmas. I love celebrating Christmas.
I love
the vibes. I love celebrating the birth of Jesus, and I love the Christmas tree. And I know people will say that's
like the
pagan. It stems from pagan roots, you know, Santa Claus, all that. Here's the thing. I am not gonna raise my kids to believe in Santa Claus. Sorry to my future wife out there who might be watching this, but I just am not going to do that.
If you do, call me.
I know. And I don't know if you do. If you do, that's great. And my nieces, you know, even my nieces kind of figured out that like Santa's not real and stuff like that, and we kind of like play along with them. But I think if you're going to celebrate Christmas, you have to remember what it's all about. And you have to remember that it's about Jesus, and you got to put him first. So instead of giving all the attention to some guy who did exist, right? St. Nicholas was like a real person, and you could dive into the history of that, which is actually a really cool history. But we've turned him into something that he's not, into this fake mythical creature, and that steals a lot of the attention away from Jesus that time of year. And I don't think that's a good thing.
And Jesus wasn't born in December, right?
No, Jesus was born in like, I want to say March or April. A lot of people believe. Some people say it was closer to fall. But Jesus wasn't born on Christmas. However, I don't think that gives us a good reason to not celebrate it that time of year. Because people will say, and I've heard this argument, especially nowadays, it's becoming very popular. Oh, Jesus wasn't born on Christmas, so I'm not going to celebrate Christmas at all. I think we could both agree that Christmas time, we could feel something in the air. There's love.
It's magic.
There's joy. It's magic. It's Jesus. Why? You have millions and millions of people around the world saying Merry Christmas. Do you know what that means?
No.
Christ Mas. If you break down that word, Christ is the anointed one.
Yes.
Jesus. Mas is celebrate. It literally means celebrate Jesus. So you have people, even atheists.
Did you know that that's racism? Kamala told me.
Of course it is.
She told this
These
last
people,
year.
Merry Christmas, you can't say that. So
and then she says Merry Christmas to everybody with her husband.
Of course.
What the hell is that?
They're retarded. Like, we'll go back at the beginning.
Allegedly.
They're stupid.
They don't have the medical records.
We don't. We'll get them. We'll get them one of these days. She might actually be. But you hear people saying Merry Christmas. Even unbelievers, Merry Christmas. Words have power. Proverbs 18:21. Your tongue has the power of life and death. Those who love it will eat its fruit. I believe your words are so important. So when you have millions of people, billions of people saying Merry Christmas, that does something to the atmosphere. It's why we love each other. It's why we can get together with our family, even though we can't stand them sometimes. And we have dinner and we have those conversations and we realize, oh, they're really not that bad. Why? Because some people will call it Christmas magic, but it's Jesus. Jesus is in the air that time of year because we all decided collectively to celebrate him that time of year. I think that's beautiful. And it's the same thing with Easter, Resurrection Sunday. We all gather at church. I love Resurrection Sunday. I mean, I love the idea of just going to church, celebrating Jesus, going out to brunch, and remembering that he rose from the dead. Sometimes I like it even better than Christmas sometimes, because the time of Christmas can be very stressful. You know, everybody's rushing from store to store, and you got to go to 9 different dinners, especially if you're married. I can imagine what that's like, although your family probably lives in another country, so you have it easy. But for me and stuff, it's like you got to go to grandpa's house, got to go to my girlfriend's parents and stuff. You know, back when I had a girlfriend, I'm single right now, but it's
Once
crazy.
Again, call him.
That's right. Give me a call. But you hear these things, you know, and it can become very stressful. Resurrection Sunday, Easter, whatever you want to call it. I like to call it Resurrection Sunday. I love it because you take one day, and if you do it right, you feel it. You celebrate Jesus. You remember his resurrection. Now, we should be celebrating these things every single day and remembering them every single day. I mean, a lot of people will take Easter and they'll go to church on Easter and they won't go to church any other time of year. And I think that's wrong. You know, we should be always celebrating what Jesus did for us.
Do you have a tagline on Easter? Like, do you say he is risen? Do you say
he is risen, yeah.
Do you say it all the time? Well, not you, but Americans, nationwide.
Oh, yeah. So the tagline, usually, this is what I've heard growing up, the pastor will say, he is risen. And then the congregation responds, he is risen indeed.
Oh, yeah. So Catholics do not do that as far as I know.
Okay.
But my other part of my family, so my wife's family is Orthodox. So they don't say Happy Easter, they say He is risen.
Okay.
And you have to reply with, Indeed. Indeed He
yeah.
did.
Yeah.
That's the thing.
Right. I don't know. I think that's interesting. I think it's cool if you do that. My church just tends to preach the resurrection on Sundays. We usually do like some sort of play or something that like recognizes that, and we go out to eat. But it's a great time of year. It's a beautiful time of year, and I believe Christmas is the same. Halloween, completely different. You can't compare the holidays. You just can't.
But it's true that Easter is about rabbits, right?
Yeah,
and
it's
the
pagan. See, the
and
devil.
eggs.
Yeah, the devil tries to sneak his way in there still, and then we accommodate it because that's just American
Well, there's
culture.
nothing wrong with rabbits and with the rabbits and the eggs. It's just
Right. And I haven't dug too much into because I know there's pagan roots of both Christmas and Easter, and I haven't dug too much into that. I know there's some people out there who won't celebrate Christmas at all. They won't celebrate Easter at all because of the pagan roots. But I think that's a little extreme. The reason I don't celebrate Halloween is because there's nothing redeemable about it. It's a dark day.
Yeah, it's visually
evil,
dark.
It's fear. There's nothing about Jesus. But with Christmas and Easter, you could at least justify it with saying that, hey, we're celebrating the birth of Jesus, our Savior, and we're celebrating his resurrection. So the bunnies, Santa Claus, all that stuff, whatever. Halloween, totally evil.